Hello everyone, Mocha Bear here. Welcome back to Mocha Bear's Hobby Den. Today's episode will be a new How to Create a Character for Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. Shall we get started? So like in my last character creation video, what we will do is start with the dice. We have our dice, and we have our scrap paper to write our numbers on. So as stated in the last video, we will roll 4d6 and we will drop the lowest number. But if the total after dropping the lowest number is below 10, we will re-roll. Alright, so we have a 6, 2, 3, 1. And then we drop the 1, that leaves us with 11. So we have 11. And here on the side of the screen, you will also be seeing the ability score modifiers. So that way you know what you'll be adding to these numbers when you finally write them down at the end. Ooh, he's a good one. 6, 5, 11, 15, drop the 2, we are at 15. I'm just going to go ahead and roll these off camera, and when I come back, I will have my 6 numbers. Ooh, I just rolled an 18. That is amazing. That is the highest you can roll. So we have 10 and 2 11s, and according to the score here on the side of the screen, 10s and 11s are plus 0. 14s and 15s are going to be plus 2s. 18s and 19s going to be plus 4. Alright, so we're going to keep this aside for now. As stated in my first character creation video, if you do not have a physical copy of the player's handbook for 5th edition, which you see here on the screen, then you can always access a free digital PDF version. I will go ahead and try to find a link and post it in the description box down below for you. So the character that was voted for was a Dwarf Rogue. And you will notice from the first video that this is a completely different character sheet. This is the default looking one that you will find in the back of the player's handbooks, and you'll find everywhere online for free as a PDF, which I will post a link to one down below in the description box as well. For Dwarf, we will go ahead, we already know, we're going to be doing a Dwarf for the race, so we will write Dwarf. But just like some other races, we need to keep room because there's something else to add to that later on. Now, let's go ahead and just look at the names. We have male names, female names, and clan names. Well, so we're going to make a male. And what name do we have that sounds interesting? A Thorin or Thoradin. Because I am unsure, I will roll a d6 as I draw. I will draw d6 to find out. 1 through 3 will be Thoradin, 4 through 6 will be Thorin. Thoradin it is. First name is Thoradin. Clan name. You know what? We'll go with Frostbeard. Sure. We can make him a little older. We can give him some gray hair. Alright. See here, scroll down. Dwarf traits, this is important. Ability and score increases. The constitution score increases by 2. So, we will grab our scrap paper and make a note. Plus 2 con. Now, we'll see that we have, you see we have the spell sheet. We do not need that because our rogue will not be a spellcaster. So let's go ahead and look at that for age. Dwarves mature at the same rate as humans, but they're considered young until they reach the age of 50. On average, they live about 350 years. So we will go ahead and, you know what? Let's make him 85. Alignment. Most dwarves are lawful, believing firmly in the benefits of a well-ordered society, tend towards good as well, with a strong sense of fair play and a belief that everyone deserves to share in the benefits of a just order. So, he's going to be a rogue. So his alignment, let's make him chaotic good. You can either write out chaotic good or you can just write CG to represent chaotic good. Next, size. Dwarves stand between 4 and 5 feet tall and average about 150 pounds. Your size is medium. So his height, let's make him a tall dwarf. Let's make him 4 foot 9 inches. And weight, they average about 150, so let's make him 173. Why not? As far as eyes, we'll come back to that in a bit. We can do that later on. Speed. Now, dwarves, most shorter races have a slower speed, sadly. So his speed is going to be 25. You'll only be able to move 25 feet. Your speed is not reduced by wearing heavy armor, which is a good thing because if you're not proficient in heavy armor, it will slow you down. Dwarves don't have to worry about that. Dark vision. So over here in features and traits, we will do a little dark vision. So you're able to see in dim light as if it was bright light up to 60 feet, and in darkness as if you were in dim light up to 60 feet. In darkness you cannot discern color, it is all shades of gray. Next up, Dwarven Resilience. I'll write a little smaller here. This is one of the reasons why I love the newer character sheet that I found, because it actually has lines and you're able to control how big or small you write. I tend to write big. So you have advantage on saving throws against poison, and you have resistance against poison damage. Next up, Dwarven Combat Training. You have proficiency with the battle axe, hand axe, throwing hammer, and warhammer. Ooh. We have tool proficiency. So let's go ahead. You gain proficiency with the artisan's tool of your choice, smith's tools, brewer's supplies, and mason's tools. Because he's going to be a rogue, let's go with smith's tools. So we will make a little dash and say smith's tools. Alright, and stone cunning. Whenever you make an intelligence history check related to the origin of stonework, you are considered proficient in the history skill and add double your proficiency bonus to the check instead of your normal proficiency bonus. Nice. Languages. You can speak, read, and write Common. Alright, so let me move this so you can see what I've been working on. Sorry about that. I need a proper setup, actual desk. So this is the features and traits, other proficiencies, and languages. So here, we are proficient with, so we will actually write languages. Common, comma, Dwarvish. Alright. Next up, subrace. 2 main subraces of dwarves populate the worlds of D&D, hill dwarves and mountain dwarves. So of course I already looked ahead. I'm going to be doing hill dwarf. So, here next to dwarf, we will do hill. Of course, when you're creating your character, you always just write in front hill dwarf. Now our subrace is going to give us some things as well. Ability score increase, your wisdom score increases by 1. So back to our scrap sheet, right? +1 to wisdom, so WIS. Then we also get dwarven toughness. Yeah, I can fit here. And so my hit point maximum increases by 1, and it increases by 1 every time you gain a level, which is great if you actually are going to be potentially getting hit a lot. You're going to be needing some health. You're going to be needing a lot of health. You're going to need to be tough. Alright, so that is everything from the race. So we are at the class page, but we're going to be jumping to the background section immediately after we look at this one little bit because of skills that you receive from your background versus your class. So you see the rogue table showing you your level, proficiency bonus, all that stuff you gain each time you level up. We want to look here at the quick build section, and we're going to look, so first dexterity should be your highest ability score. So let's go ahead and just make a note of that. So we'll go ahead and look at that. Dexterity should be our highest. We have an 18, so we will do 18 equals dex. And then make intelligence your next highest if you want to excel investigation or plan to take up the arcane trickster. But choose charisma instead if you plan to emphasize on deception and social interactions, which I do, so charisma. So we'll take one of those 15s, CHA for charisma. Let's go ahead and make the other 15 our constitution for our health. That is going to become a 17 because of the +2 con. So 17 will equal our constitution. We will go ahead and make one of these 11s our wisdom, which will turn it into a 12. WIS. And we will take the other 11 to be our intelligence. And then lastly, we will make strength our dump stat, so 10. Alright, and now it says second, choose the charlatan background. So that is why we are jumping to the background now. But we will only be looking at it for us a moment. So now we'll look here at skill proficiencies. We gain deception and sleight of hand. So we will go ahead and color in the bubble. So you have the skills section here. We will color in deception and sleight of hand. Now we are coloring these in because we're proficient, and our proficiency bonus will be added to any rolls we make using those skills. Next up, tool proficiencies. We gain disguise kit and the forgery kit. So we will go ahead and add that down here in the other proficiency section as tools. Disguise kit and forgery kit. And our equipment, we will go ahead and just do that now. I'm going to go ahead and write that off camera, and I will be back as soon as I am done. All right, our belt pouch, comma, and it's containing 15 gold, so we will go ahead, mark 15 gold down. Since we are here in the background, we will go ahead and check out the rest of the info for it. Favorite schemes. So we will go ahead, and so here we will do I put on new identities like clothes, and then we'll do feature it's false identity. We'll go ahead and go to the characteristics now. So personality traits. Alright, we will go with flattery as my preferred trick of getting what I want. Next, ideal. We went with chaotic good, so let's see. Let's go with charity. Charity. I distribute the money I acquire to the people who really need it. Alright. Next up is bond. Ooh, here's a good one. Number 2. I owe everything to my mentor, a horrible person who's probably rotting in jail somewhere. And lastly, flaw. Let's go with this as simple. Short. I can't resist a pretty face. Alright, So we will go ahead and now go back to the class section. And let's see here on the rogue table. First level proficiency bonus is +2. Need to adjust this so you can see everything. And then we see sneak attack is a D6 and features is expertise, sneak attack, and thieves can't. So let's go ahead and scroll down. We've already done that. Class features, here we go. Hit points. Hit dice is 1d8 per rogue level. So hit dice is d8 and total is 1. Then hit points at first level, 8 plus your constitution modifier. So let's go ahead and bring back our scrap sheet and fill in the ability scores over here. Dexterity is here, 18. That is going to be +4. Charisma is 15. 15 is +2. Constitution is 17, which is +3. Wisdom is 12, which is +1. Intelligence is 11, which is +0. And strength is 10, +0. Alright, so now that we have that filled out, we should be good with our scrap paper. So back to hit points at first level is 8 plus your con modifier. So 8 plus 3 is going to be 11. However, remember, we have dwarven toughness from our subrace. Gives us a +1 to our constitution score every level. So instead of being 11, our current hit points is going to be 12, as well as our hit point maximum is 12, which is not bad for a first level character. Next up, we don't have to worry about hit points at higher levels because we're not leveled up. We're still first level. Which reminds me, come back up to here, class and level, Rogue 1. And go ahead and do background is Charlatan. Proficiencies. Alright, so we're coming back down here to the other proficiency section. For that, armor. We are proficient with light armor. Weapons. We've got simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, and short swords. But remember, we also get some weapon proficiencies from our race. So we will go back to look at that. Dwarven combat training gave us proficiency with the battle axe, hand axe, throwing hammer, and warhammer. For rogue, our class also gives us proficiency in the thieves tools. So go back up here to the tools, and like I said, I write big. So, all right. And now saving throws. We're proficient in dexterity and intelligence. So go ahead and bubble in dexterity and intelligence. Now here's the main reason why we went to our background first, to see our proficient skills. Because here, choose 4 from acrobatics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, investigation, perception, performance, persuasion, sleight of hand, and stealth. Now our background already gives us proficiency in deception and sleight of hand, so we can actually, we don't have to worry about those. So we definitely want stealth. Absolutely. Perception is a really good one to have as well, especially as a rogue, you're trying to perceive things. Investigation, because the subclass I want to aim for when we reach level 3 with this character is thief. You need to have good perception to perceive around you, make sure no one sees you, but you need to have good investigation so you have a better chance of finding what you're looking for. We have one more to pick. Do we want to do insight to see if we're able to determine if someone's lying? See if we're able to figure something out? Or do we want to go with acrobatics or athletics? You know what? We'll go ahead and go with acrobatics. We're a thief, we need to be nimble and quick. Alright, so scroll down. Equipment. Start with the following equipment in addition to the equipment granted to you by your background, which we've already written down. So a rapier or a short sword. Rapier is nice. Short sword. You know what? We're gonna be fancy. We're gonna have a rapier. So we will go ahead and rapier. Next, a short bow and quiver of 20 arrows, or a short sword. We want that short bow and quiver of 20 arrows. Now, because we have arrows, we're going to come up here and we are going to write in arrows, and we have 20. So that way we have a track of our ammunition. Next up, a burglar's pack, dungeoneer's pack, or an explorer's pack. Because I'm a rogue that's wanting to become a thief, a burglar's pack will be preferred. So we'll actually go ahead and open up the equipment's pack page and burglar's pack. There's quite a bit of stuff in there. I'm not going to write all that down, so I will write burglar's pack, but you will probably want to write down on a scrap piece of paper what is inside the burglar's pack. So that way you know what you have. Back to the class. And then lastly, we have leather armor, 2 daggers, and thieves' tools. Now back over to our features and traits for our class. So we will go ahead and start here. Expertise. At first level, choose 2 of your skill proficiencies or 1 of your skill proficiencies and your proficiency with thieves' tools. Your proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability checks you make that use either of the chosen proficiencies. So instead of having the regular +2, we would add a 4 instead, because our proficiency bonus is 2 right now. So as a thief, we're definitely going to want stealth. So we will do dash stealth, and we will do thieves' tools. So that way we can have a better chance of picking those difficult locks. And next up, beginning at first level, you know how to strike subtly and exploit a foe's distraction. Once per turn, you can deal an extra 1d6 damage to one creature you hit with an attack if you have advantage on the attack roll. The attack must use a finesse or a ranged weapon, which the rapier is a finesse weapon and the short bow is a ranged weapon. Daggers are also technically ranged weapons because you can throw them. Alright, you don't need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it, the enemy isn't incapacitated, and you don't have disadvantage on the attack roll. And the damage will increase at higher levels, so over here, sneak attack, make it bold, but then we will also want to note 1d6. And then we will do that over here in the attacks and spellcasting section as well, so that way we see it whenever we look at our attacks, our weapons. Sneak attack. Ooh, that's an ugly K. 1d6. All right, and then lastly, on the table it said we get Thieves' Cant. So I will go ahead. Now, obviously, you will definitely want to be writing smaller than this or have a scrap piece of paper. However, if you need more room, you do have another additional features and traits on the second page, but I double printed, so it's on the back. Thieves' Cant. During your rogue training, you learn Thieves' Cant, a secret mix of dialects, jargon, and code that allows you to hide messages in seemingly normal conversation. Only another creature that knows Thieves' Cant understands such messages. So as a language, so we will go over here to the languages and write Thieves' Cant. Alright. As long as you can read it and understand what you mean, good. You'll probably need to clean it up a bit and maybe do it on scrap paper. Alright, that is all we get for first level rogues. So we've done our race, we've done our class, we've done our background. Let's go ahead and do our skills now that we're sitting here. Remember, we took expertise for stealth and thieves tools. So next to stealth, we will want to write expertise, so we know why it is going to be the higher number. And then for thieves tools, underneath we will write expertise, and then have it pointing up to thieves tools, because I'm not going to be getting anything in armor for him. So for saving throws, we're going to be using the same numbers, the modifiers, from the ability scores over here, except for dexterity and intelligence. Because those are bubbled in, we will be adding our proficiency bonus to them. So for strength, it's going to be a +0. Dexterity is going to be 4 + 2 because of this, making that a +6. Constitution is +3. Intelligence is going to be +2 because of the 0 + 2. Wisdom is going to be +1. Charisma is +2. So anytime you were told to roll a strength save, dex save, anything save, it's going to be from the saving throw. So you'll roll a d20 and you will add the number that's here on the line. Same thing with skills. So acrobatics, dexterity, it's 4. But because we're proficient, it's going to become +6. And I will go ahead and fill in the rest of these off camera until we get to stealth. Alright, so at stealth, it's going to be dexterity 4 plus proficiency bonus of 2. However, because we have the expertise, this +2 is going to become a +4. So 4 + 4 is going to be 8. So we're going to be very stealthy. A little plus next to that. And then survival's wisdom is +1. Now, below that, you see right here is passive wisdom perception. Whenever you have a passive anything, it will always be 10 plus whatever that skill is. So passive perception is going to be 10 plus 1. So that is going to be an 11. So we don't have a very passive perception, but it's better than just straight 10. And then since we are here, we will go ahead and do the initiative. Your initiative is what determines when you go during combat. It is always based off your dexterity modifier. So our dexterity modifier is +4, so our initiative is +4, which is really good, especially for first levels. It means that we have a better chance of going first or close to first. The armor class is going to be from our armor. So let's go ahead and go to that. We will open up the armor. Now we have leather armor, which is light, or proficient of course. So at leather, it is going to be 11 plus dex modifier. So 11 plus 4 is going to be 15. That is a really good AC or armor class for a level 1 character, especially a rogue. But rogues are typically going to have high AC starting out because you're going to focus on dexterity. Next up, we will go ahead and move on to our weapons. So for our weapons, we will start, let's look at the chart. Dagger. We have 2 daggers, so we will just go ahead and right here, dagger. And the attack bonus. The attack bonus is going to be whatever skill you're using for the weapon, and if you're proficient with it, you add your proficiency. So let's look at dagger and go to the properties. It is a finesse, light, and thrown weapon, which can be thrown to 20 feet or up to 60 feet at disadvantage. So anytime you're trying to throw your dagger more than 20 feet, you will have to roll 2d20 and you have to take the lower number, but you cannot throw more than 60 feet. But because it's finesse, we can choose to either use our strength or our dexterity modifiers. We will use our dexterity modifier for sure because it's a +4 versus a +0 for strength. So we will take the +4 and we will add our proficiency bonus because we're proficient with daggers because they are simple weapons. Add 2, so that is going to be +6 for the attack bonus. Now the damage and type, let's take a look. Daggers do 1d4 piercing. So we will start out 1d4. And whenever you are using a weapon to attack, whatever skill you are using for the attack that you rolled with, you will add to the damage roll, unless you are attacking offhand and you don't have a skill or feature that allows you to add the damage, but that's something for a later video. So 1d4 plus our dexterity, which was used for the attack, is 4, so 1d4 plus 4, piercing. Next up, we did a rapier. So we will scroll down until we find rapier. There's rapier. It is also a finesse weapon, like I said before, so we get to choose if we want strength or dexterity to be added to the attack and damage. We're definitely going to want dexterity. And since we are proficient with rapiers from our class, we are going to be doing another +6. And the damage is 1d8 piercing. So 1d8, and because we're using dexterity, we will add that modifier again, so 4, and then piercing once again. Lastly, short bow. And of course, you can always name your weapons. Just make sure you know what weapon is named what. So you might want that on scrap paper. Short bow is going to be back up underneath simple ranged weapons. It's ammunition, so it tells you it needs ammunition to work. The range is 80 by 320, so you can shoot up to 80 feet normally, as long as you're not in melee range with somebody. And you can shoot up to 320 feet away, but it will be at disadvantage. So, but short bows, they got some range for being short bows. And it is two-handed, so that means you cannot be holding anything else in either hand. Both hands will be used for this weapon. Now, ranged weapons, 9 out of 10 are going to be using dexterity. So because of that, we're going to be using our 4 plus 2. It is going to be +6. And then the damage for a short bow is 1d6 piercing. So we have 1d6, and then because we use dexterity for it, +4, and again, piercing. Now, because we have daggers and they can be thrown, I'm going to do this. Right dagger again underneath, but then parentheses, throw. We do need to make a note of the range for dagger. So it is going to be 20 by 60. So we will do 20-60. And then it will be, attack bonus is going to be the same of +6. And then the damage will be the same as regular as well. So 1d4 plus 4 piercing. So we're going to be a very piercy guy. Lastly, we'll go ahead and put the name on the back sheet again, Thoradin Frostbeard. Now, let's see here. He's a hill dwarf for eyes. Let's go with. Yeah, we'll just go with let's go with honey brown. Skin. He's a hill dwarf, so he will be typically outside more. So we will give him. We'll just go with something easy. We'll go tanned. So he has a little tan going on. And then hair. Let's do we want to go with gray or do we want? I know. So we will go with auburn, and then gray streaks. So he'll have some gray streaks in his hair and his beard. All right. And typically, if you are doing a game, you'll want to fill out the character backstory section, and you'll coordinate with your DM or Dungeon Master, GM or Game Master on the backstory for your character, and you'll write it there. So any notes you need to refer to, any names that are relevant to you or important to your character's story, of course, you'll be able to flip it over and find it. Of course, scrap paper. I tend to write my backstories on scrap paper and then take the keynotes and put them here. But that is all you need for when creating a level 1 character for D&D. I hope this episode was helpful to those out there trying to make their first character, or those who just struggle with making character sheets in general for Dungeons & Dragons. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below with them, or reach out to my social media here, and I will respond to them as soon as I am able. This character concept was created because I ran a poll on my Instagram story the other day. If you follow me on my Instagram, you will see me doing some posts frequently on there, and I will run polls asking for your advice. I do have another one that someone else wanted that was a second close, so that will probably be my next episode unless I have another unboxing video to do. So we'll see what happens. If you liked this episode, please give it a like, hit the subscription button and that bell notification, because the bell notification will alert you when an episode goes live on this channel. But also, please comment down below what you liked, what you didn't like, if you, like I said, have other questions or if something was confusing to you, as well as share this video, because I guarantee there's someone out there in your friends list that is new to D&D, who's wanting to get into D&D but doesn't know how to make a character. So until next time, be well and hobby on.